Hey folks, Vortex here and welcome to my review of the Moondrop Joker. So this is a new closed back headphones, obviously from Moondrop. And yet as usual, full disclaimers, I'd like to thank Shenzhen Audio Store for sending me this unit to try. So thank you very much. I was not paid to do this video and all thoughts and opinions are my own. So like I said, these are some closed back headphones, I think they're black. And they are priced, I think $79. And yeah, let's just get into it. Before I open the box, let's have a look at the actual info on the back. So the treble looks quite aggressive in the lower section, so I have to see what that's like. So closed back, the partially rigid composite diaphragm, frequency response 15 Hz to 22,000 Hz. Impedance is 68 ohms, sensitivity is 106, 3.5 cable and 3.5 jack. So yeah, let's see what's inside. I think this is also first pair of headphones I've tried from Moondrop. I don't think I've tried any before. So let's have a look in here. Some paperwork, product description. Connect headphone, wearing and using the device. I like how they call it a device. Information there, obviously it's pretty much just common sense at this point, how to replace the cable, important safety tips, etc, etc. Obviously there's the specs and what it should come with. After sales terms, warranty card, and that's that. Obviously the jack seems fine. So look at a bit more paperwork here. QC there. So let's see what you get. Again, I've never tried. I know they've released a couple of models now, but obviously I've no idea what they're like. So kind of a fabric, so that's a bit different. 3.5 to a right angled one. I'll have to see what this is like in reality. That case is quite, for something that's $80, that's actually quite nice. You can feel the foam in there. That's quite yeah, that's actually quite premium. So let's have a look. No simple way to do this. So quite deep. Pads, they seem okay. They're quite light. They make a bit of noise. At least there's some swivel. Not too bad. Again, close back from the bottom. Obviously dual 3.5s. That's quite, look at that. That's crazy adjustment. But headband seems fine. And that's it. Obviously I've not tried these yet. As you can see, they were sealed. And yeah, they look quite sharp on the graph, like the lower treble, that big spike. So yeah, see you in the future. Hey folks, and welcome to my review part of the Moondrop Joker. Let's just get straight into it. So cable is actually not too bad, as you can see what it looks like. Even though it's a fabric kind of cable, it actually works, as you can see, it works pretty well. So obviously two 3.5s and ends in a right angle. It's actually not too bad. Obviously you got the brand in there. That's the good part of the headphones. So another good part is actually comfort. As you can see, they actually are quite big. I found the comfort on these pretty good, and the clamp was actually pretty good. They have massive range of adjustment. So I'm about there. So if you've got a really small head, you can go there. If you've got a massive melon head, you can go there. Now, from all the headphones I've seen, like from China, I've never seen one that can adjust so much, and that's probably it really. So fits good. Now, one thing I did notice as a negative, I found they got hot. Now the pads, you can see a pretty good padding, but I found they get hot sometimes. But That may depend on where you are. Obviously you can see it says right and it says left. Have a closer look. Now I've noticed it does sometimes get fingerprints, so you can see here. And yes, so build quality on these is not very good, to be honest. If they do feel a bit like you can hear it. They're a bit flimsy. They don't fold, which might be a bad thing. But if you have a folding headphone, there's more to go wrong. So that's that. Just take the cable off. Get rid of that. So tuning. Well, before the tuning, they got the image on this set is actually quite good. It's like fake imaging because they're really bright. Same for micro details because they're so bright, which I'll tell you about in a bit. They are detailed. Now, anyway, sound. These are fortunately are not a good set. So low end just feels weak. It has a lot of bass roll off. Now these are monitoring headphones, but they don't seem to be tuned like monitoring headphones. So bass is weak, just poor. Like the attack is. It's all very soft, and I didn't really like it. And that's all I can really say about the bass. Is not much to say. Mid range on these sound really thin. They sound like the lack, because they're not V shaped, but they're just. I think because the treble's really bright, which we'll get to in a bit, is it pushes the mid range back. So there's a lot of details in the mid range which you just don't get. But what you do get though is vocals. So these are upper mid range, lower treble, forward. So these are vocal forward headphones, but that's the only trick they can kind of do. Now, that's it. That's the mid range covered because there's not much of it. It's, as you say. Now the main part of these is the treble. It's super boosted. Now I know these are monitoring headphones, but other monitoring headphones which are quite famous from companies like Sennheiser and Sony, they do a much better job than this. And they don't have the super crazy treble that these do. So these are really boosted in the treble, the lower treble, and they have sibilants as well, which means female vocals are really sharp. And then because it's so boosted and there's not much lower mid range, it sounds thin. But because of that, they are really forward in the mix if that's what you want. Personally, I prefer more balance in the frequency response in the tuning. These aren't like that, but like I said before, the sound part, because of that, you get a lot of detail, and and the imaging is good because of the super like pushed treble. But again, a negative of all this, these sound really artificial in the treble because it's just so boosted. Yeah, kind of disappointing really. Now Moondrop, especially IEMs, they know what they're doing. But when they do, I think they've done some headphones. Their tuning is not as good as it should be. Now, this is my first pair of Moondrop headphones. And unfortunately, to me, I don't really like these. You know, I wanted to like them. You know, I appreciate the build. $80 is not too bad. But there's an awful lot of competition from, as you say, from Sony and companies like Sennheiser have been doing this. They've been in the game for years. Obviously, Moondrop are new to headphones. Anyway, conclusion is, do I recommend these personally? What I like? No. I don't like that the bass is a bit weak. The mid-range is weak, as in details. Treble is super spicy. It should be either, I know monitoring is different tuning, but these aren't tuned, I think, how they're supposed to be. You could probably try EQ with these. They're meant to EQ quite well, so at least the driver is quite flexible. And yeah, if you like that kind of super sharp, there's some graphs of these on the internet, so you can have a look. But I don't really recommend these. I think there's much better headphones out there. Again, with the build quality, isn't very good. Cable's okay though, as you can see. Yeah, that's pretty much it really. Not much to say. Kind of bit of a disappointment. So, yeah, as usual, thanks very much for watching. Take care, and I've got a Tangsu pair of IEMs next, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And there's a planar coming in the future, a new one, which is pretty good. play, not IM, that is. So, yeah. See you in the next video.